Okay, how was that? Guys, that was just like, you know, one of the best openings I think I've ever had. It's just amazing. And you're all a bunch of incredible, talented guys, and thank you very much. Thank you. And can I just say, I'm really thrilled. The Arts Centre has allowed us to stay on a little bit longer here tonight. So we're going to, after our official things are over, the band is actually going to come back and do some more music for us. So how's that? And I've just been told that you're on Saturday at the Broadway Tavern. Sunday. This Sunday. So if anybody's at the Hope Island area or if they've got nothing to do on a Sunday, I suggest you go see this voice.
Caroline, let Neil come back too for a couple of songs.
Yes, Lee's coming back up now. Lee, can I welcome you back on stage, please? And look, I have also, you know, a very special guest here this evening that made sure that he was going to be here for Lee Conway. He flew in from Sydney, and he is someone that has been in the industry forever. And I warmly want to welcome him on stage to actually have a little bit of a chat with Lee. So Tony Bonner, can we give a big hand to Tony Bonner? Hi Tony,
Hi Caroline, and it wasn't quite as dramatic as flying in for Lee, although I would have been here. I've been working the last few days in Brisbane on a project and was down here doing some voice work in the studio, so I was on tap. Come here, you.
I paid your airfare.
I don't know what to say about Lee. It's just fantastic to see an old friend back doing what he does. Great, and back in those days when Lee was a bad boy in Melbourne, I was a good boy, and he dragged me into the pits of what he was getting up to. I was virginal, I was pure, I was spiritual, and along came this country and western singer and just destroyed my life.
You ain't seen nothing.
We had a great time back then. I was shooting a series or a couple of series in Melbourne, and Lee was, you couldn't get hotter than Lee was in the country and western world, and he had this one hell of a touring bus, and I can't begin to tell you what went on in that touring bus.
Well,
but I'm not going to stay here and kind of film and waste time, but I'm just really honoured to be here tonight for Lee and this comeback concert for him, and it's good to hear that gravelly, real voice and see someone who was a real fella, and I couldn't be happier to be here. Well done, Lee.
I was so happy with you.
Another one of the villains back in those days, I know would like to say a few words, and that's our mutual friend and old pal Phil AVLON. Come here, Phil.
This is almost like a roast for you tonight.
We should have a roast. I'll tell you his greatest secrets. Look, let me just tell you a little bit about Lee Conway. I just come out of the army, and I was kind of 20 years of age, and a buddy of mine that was in the army was called Mike Webb. He was on a radio station called 2SM. He and I were in the army together with a guy called NORMIE, who you may have heard of. And Mike and his brother Graham, who were both in the music business. One was the host of a show called Blind Date, and Mike was, of course, on 2SM. And they said to me, look, we've got this guy called Lee Conway. We're going to sign him on a record label called Sweet Peach. And the other guys involved were Doug Ashdown and
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, right.
Rock and roll, I gave you the best years of my life.
Exactly, yeah. Anyways, I listened to Lee's songs and I was just blown away. I mean, this incredible talent. And I was fortunate enough to be able to make a film many moons later with a guy called Dennis Whitburn, who we both love, and Tony knows, we're all drunks in those years. And we put one of Lee's songs on that movie. Now, I don't know if you're getting the royalties, Lee.
No, I was never paid for that.
I never paid that one. Sorry. Speak to Mel Gibson, will you? Anyway, long story short, Lee's career took him to America. Jerry Lee Lewis was a huge fan of Lee's and took him to Elvis Presley's house because he wanted Elvis to meet Lee because he thought Lee was such a great talent. Lee won many awards, many records, top hits all over the world. And I mean, it's an incredible thing to have Lee here tonight. I don't think this place has ever had somebody with that great talent in the music industry appear on these shows, Carol. So,
Thank you very much. I think it's bloody incredible that I'm still here.
we've got to agree, we agree, but it's such a blowout, and thank you very much for your wonderful music, and thank you very much for such a performance with you and the guys. And Caro, well done, babe.
Thank you very much. By the way, if you want to stick around later, as Caroline said, we're going to all come up and have a bit of a good time after, okay? So you stick around for a while.
Oh, thank you, Lee. That just makes music to my ears, I tell you. And look, I just got to say, look, we've had a
Excuse me, Caroline.
Yeah.
We have one of the greatest rogues in this business. Mr. Normie Rowe standing right here. That's him.
I remember Lee when he was
That's right.
when he was only twice my age.
Thanks, mate.
Congratulations, Lee.
Good on you, Normie. Thanks, mate.
Okay, so then it just gets better in this room. I'll tell you what, you know. Again, can we have a warm welcome, because we have another incredible legend in this room tonight, Normie Rowe. Thanks for all this time tonight. It's just wonderful to see this support. You know, this industry gets with these nights, and it's just an enormous pleasure to have such an amazing opening as this. So now now we're going to move on to my next very special guest, and I hope I say this right. He is French. He is a composer, and he has done, very, very wonderful, interesting work on a lot of Australian films and international films. And LOIC, is that right? LOIC, VALMY. Can I welcome you up to the stage, please? Did you name right? Yeah? LOIC. LOIC. Okay, is that good? Okay, darling. All right, well, I'm going to actually, let you take over from now on. And please, again, another applause for Molly. Darling.